Hello, welcome to this update for Asia, especially Western Asia, about the winter weather. So let's see what's happening because we have some showers in Turkey and some stuff going on in China, but this week we have a big dip of Arctic air in parts of Western Asia, especially around Russia and Turkey, Kazakhstan, and some areas. So we'll have some snow, more cold, and some other hazards. So let's first see here the general outlook. So there's this map of above and below average temperatures, like the temperature anomalies, based on the European the GFS models. So let's see the GFS first. So you see there in Northern Europe, starting Norway, those blues start appearing on Thursday. Then it comes down all the way to like Russia, Turkey, and those areas. This area is Saturday, December 14th. It will also affect Europe, but like in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Turkey, it shows like much below average temperature, like very cold in those areas. This is already Sunday, the December 15th. This goes there and shows it moves a little bit further east, affecting parts of Iran, Turkmenistan, and all there, especially Kazakhstan and like Kyrgyzstan. This goes there and shows more like in China and maybe a little bit weaker into Mongolia later. And later shows some above average temperatures, maybe some are cold in the north later. Now the European, there's like here the 0 shows already shows some below average temperatures in parts of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, but then that kind of goes away, gets colder in China, it's shown here, but that mass of very cold air starts coming down into Russia, in parts of Eastern Europe. Then the European shows this very strong around December 15th, some very cold anomalies there. This might be like a big cold wave there associated with some very cold temperatures, wind chills, especially snow on those areas. This are like December, still December 15th, December 17th, and the European has another slightly less intense cold wave later, but it does get pretty intense after that, December 24th. But everything after December 18th is too far. The thing we know for sure is this cold wave coming this weekend. So, yeah, be aware those areas. So, let's see. There are some other models too, like the Canadian and other ones. It also shows the temperature anomalies. So this goes those cold temperatures in China and Mongolia. Then it brings the mass of Arctic air down to southern Russia, like Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and gets like very cold anomalies there. So that might bring some very cold conditions, some snow, and even some high winds. But as you see this like on December 16th, the Canadians like a big cold wave there. But some models differ on the strength a little bit, but all the models have a lot of cold there starting this weekend. It's already colder, but you'll get even colder. And shows maybe extending to Iran and Turkey as well. Might be very cold there, a little bit chillier in Saudi Arabia and some areas too. Then has a small cold wave around Turkey later, December 18th. So yeah, now in terms of like precipitation and stuff, this might bring more snow in some areas, but I don't see anything crazy just yet. There's the GFS. Why did I put Europe? So here in Asia shows some lingering snow in Russia, some stuff there, December 13th, 14th. And then this already, the 15th, when that Arctic air will come down. This on the 14th, so it shows some storms in Turkey on like the 13th and the 14th, just as this cold air is coming down. You can see on these blue lines is the cold air. So this comes on later on the 15th, shows potentially some snow around northern Iran, parts of Turkmenistan and Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan on the 16th, and this goes there, but it's not showing any catastrophic blizzard or anything, but this will bring those very cold temperatures there. So first, let's see what the models think about the actual temperatures there. Then we'll check the precipitation and stuff. So this the European already shows very cold air around Russia, Kazakhstan, and those areas, especially like central Kazakhstan, so minus 28 degrees Celsius, alright, so minus 22. Kyrgyzstan and Tibet are very cold, like so minus 31 to minus 37 in Kyrgyzstan, but those areas are very high elevation, so it's normal there. But be aware, because this is like very cold. On top of Afghanistan on the north there, Kazakhstan, not Kazakhstan, but Afghanistan, until like central Afghanistan, some colder temperatures, northern Iran there. So be aware those areas, and shows more like into northern Iran, those mountains, and we'll talk about Turkey soon. Let's see here now. Shows already in Mongolia, southern Russia, so some spots of southern Russia close, like Kazakhstan and Mongolia, so minus 27, minus 28, and colder throughout China, and especially southwestern China and Tibet, and in eastern China it's pretty cold. We'll check that in the Eastern Asia sections. So let's see, but this is just right now, but later it might get colder during the night in Kazakhstan and parts of Russia. Then it goes Tuesday a little bit better in the afternoon, like goes from minus 25 to just minus 20, and then but that's just some areas. All there's like minus 8, minus 1, so some other areas are better. But this around Tuesday morning, alright, it's still pretty cold, but that cold air right there moves east, and still very cold around Russia, central China, be aware, and northern China we'll talk about. So yeah, further south in Iran still shows cold. Those areas of central western Iran there, especially northern Iran, the mountains, and especially those mountains on northernmost Iran, close to minus 10, minus 5 or something. Even like minus 13, the highest peaks. And then shows Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, so minus 14, minus 13, very cold. Still in Russia, shows some spots there with like 2 degrees, 3 degrees, but northwestern Russia, some negative temperatures, and central Russia, they still choose the way before the cold air comes down. Then shows Wednesday and Thursday, this starts coming down, gets cold in northern Russia there, and still cold like central Russia in the European part, and a little bit less cold southern Russia, but still very cold like Georgia and the Caucasus, so minus 7, minus 10 throughout southern Georgia, mostly eastern Turkey is very cold, central Turkey, and like eastern Turkey there. This Thursday, Wednesday still shows cold in Turkey. Tuesday morning, tomorrow shows very cold in central eastern Turkey too, like especially in western Azerbaijan and Armenia there. So be aware. Then back to Thursday, shows there this comes Friday, the cold air starting to dig down, shows some spots in northern Russia close to minus 16 already, and the Caucasus like very cold, so close to like minus 13 or even less. And then the cold spreads out through most of central Turkey, some other areas of negative temperatures Friday morning. Then this comes Saturday, show that cold air, north central Russia there, be aware. And Moscow here is like it's a minus 9, minus 6, and minus 10 in Moscow, and other populated areas there. Saturday, the cold air will really come down. You can see like near northern Kazakhstan, but it's like Russia still some minus 28, some like minus 19 in the northern Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan some minus 8, in Uzbekistan there shows very cold, like in eastern Turkey some minus 19 already, minus 8, and like especially in the Caucasus, some minus 23 in Georgia, in those areas. So be aware. In Azerbaijan, minus 17. Northern Iran already much colder. Most of Iran actually, except the south. Some active temperatures north of Saudi Arabia already is minus 1. In Syria, it's like minus 4. Jordan already is minus 3. This is on Monday the 16th morning, exactly a week from now. This forecast might change still, but shows very cold already. Monday, this goes, then the cold air moves east, gets a little bit better like in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. Still very cold in Turkey and the Caucasus, but a little bit better than Sunday and Monday. This goes Tuesday, But Wednesday morning still shows some sunspots colder in Saudi Arabia, some 2-5 degrees, but still like in Turkey, less than -15, -14, the Caucasus, some -19, even like -21 in some higher peaks. So be aware of the cold. And spreading all the way to western Turkey now, central western Turkey, Istanbul, some 8, 7 degrees. But most of central eastern Turkey, very cold. Shows like still most of Iran, except some specific areas near bodies of water, like the Caspian Sea, but very chilly there too. But the harsh cold is in the mountains and interior areas. The south's a little bit better, but shows like still in Afghanistan, most of Afghanistan's -13, -12. Turkmenistan's a -4, and Uzbekistan it's -3, -4. But in Afghanistan, in Kazakhstan, much colder, so -21, -24 in the east this Wednesday morning. The 18th, so more than a week from now, is -15. Most of central northern Kazakhstan is still cold on the west. It shows like very cold throughout Russia, western Russia still, but not like westernmost Russia, but does show like northern Russia, so like -6 to -10. So be aware that this next Wednesday, the 18th, this goes still cold on Turkey on Thursday, especially in Turkey, northern Iran, Tajikistan, and those areas. The other Friday still cold, and like Friday the 20th, the 21st shows more cold around Russia, especially western Russia, so -18, -21 is central Russia there, northern Kazakhstan still, and chillier across parts of Saudi Arabia, in Syria, and those areas. But this more than a week out already, so that will still change. But like the GFS, with this massive cold air comes, still cold before it arrives in like Turkey, still cold. This is like Wednesday morning in Iran, so -1, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Afghanistan still cold before it arrives, like already cold. In Tajikistan, so -28, -3, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and very cold. This is like Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, very cold central Kazakhstan, most of southern Russia along northern Mongolia, some very harsh temperatures, central southern Mongolia in many areas. So yeah, be aware. This is Tuesday, Wednesday. That mass starts coming to Russia. There you see those colder temperatures across western Russia, most of western Russia there. Thursday, Friday, this comes down. Saturday morning shows in the Caucasus some -19 to -20. Most of Turkey except the far west, selective temperatures. The far south, not yet as well, but shows like northern Iran, Azerbaijan, and Georgia, very cold. And still in Afghanistan and those areas. Saturday, this comes down even further. Saturday night shows like very cold in the Caucasus there, so -22, -23, more like Turkey, so it's a -17 into Syria, those areas. So be careful. But the GFS, but that's still Saturday. Let's wait until Monday. So here Sunday shows this cold coming down a little bit further south in Iran, especially in the morning in Turkey there, those areas. Now Sunday into Monday, because this is what I was talking about. The Europeans select the temperatures all the way down to Saudi Arabia on the 16th in the morning, but the GFS doesn't. So this might go one way or another. Many times, most times the Europeans is very accurate, but sometimes the GFS can be right. But yeah, be aware of those cold temperatures coming, and later has more cold temperatures into Eastern Asia, but still some cold waves across the west around the 20th and something. But that's far out. Let's see here. There's also like the icon shows those cold temperatures right there. Today's Monday, shows more like some -6 here, some 0 degrees, some -5 in the mountains, and northern Iran cold. And Tuesday morning, tomorrow, shows even colder. Some parts of Iran, some -1, -3 in Turkey, some -8 in the eastern mountains. In the Caucasus, like some -4 to -5, -1. So be aware. But in Kazakhstan right now, it's very cold, central to eastern Kazakhstan and southern Russia. So be careful there. Western Kazakhstan is a minus 13 as well, so it's a minus 17. So it's cold. And so like Tuesday, this goes Wednesday. The cold there starts going into northern Russia there. Thursday shows already some spots to minus 9, minus 8. Some spots in central, northern, like western Russia still some minus 20, minus 15. Thursday into Friday. So like this goes into Friday and Saturday morning. Shows colder in the Caucasus and Turkey, so like minus 23, so minus 19, minus 21, all the way to minus 13 in Turkey, so it's a minus 15. In Armenia, very cold in Azerbaijan. Most of Turkey there, except the far south and far west, just negative temperatures. Shows in Syria, no, in Iran, mainly the north there, some negative temperatures, but some mountains along central western Iran, some colder temperatures there, some minus 8, and some mountains in the north and northern Uzbekistan, already cold. Saturday, this comes down further, shows already Sunday morning around Kazakhstan, most of Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, some negative temperatures, especially northern Kazakhstan, some minus 18. Russia, that pool of cold air, so minus 23, minus 22, minus 8. So yeah, BR in Iran, some negative temperatures, most of those mountains, all the way to south central Iran, so minus 15, the northern mountains, some mountains of eastern Turkey, all the way to minus 22, minus 17. This is already December 15th, shows this model does show on the 15th, so minus 1 temperatures all the way to northern Saudi Arabia, like the European, and in Iraq too, parts of Jordan and Syria. So yeah, very cold, like still in Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, and Tajikistan and those areas. There's still Sunday into Monday. It does have in the morning, like into Western Iraq, Saudi Arabia, especially in Turkey and Syria, some colder temperatures, and most of Iran except the south. So yeah, some mountains can get very cold, so be careful. And shows more like in Afghanistan, still cold, some minus 224, minus 25. So be aware, most of Afghanistan on the 16th shows in Kyrgyzstan, some minus 19, some minus 14. In northern Kazakhstan, some minus 21, some minus 7. So be aware. And the worst will be like in Russia, some minus 31, minus 28. So be aware, northwestern Russia still some minus 14, some minus 15 on the 16th. And cold all the way down to southern Russia, so minus 5, minus 3, in western Russia there. So be aware that the 16th this goes, and yeah, so be careful there. And now the rain and snow, this model does show those snow showers in Russia, northern Kazakhstan throughout this week. So be aware central Russia there, in western Russia, and it starts getting the cold front in Turkey late Tuesday to Wednesday. Some storms in western Turkey on Wednesday morning. This goes crosses Turkey throughout Wednesday, shows snow into eastern Turkey Wednesday night in the Caucasus. Southern Russia and Georgia there Wednesday, show like Thursday the 12th, most of northeastern Turkey and Georgia, more snow into southern Russia. And meanwhile, there'll be those snow showers in Russia there, western Russia Wednesday, shows more snow south central, like southwestern Russia, northern Kazakhstan on Thursday. And still, like the snow spreads on Friday into northern Iran, some parts of Armenia, and this goes there throughout Friday in northern Iran. And it does show around Friday evening some more snow in those mountains on the northern Iran there. So be careful, still showing heavy in Turkey and Georgia. This already around Friday night, still some snow there. It spreads to like northeastern Iran, and starts in Tajikistan already. So Friday afternoon, Tajikistan, in Afghanistan, in those areas. So be aware. And like this is Saturday morning already, shows more snow in Uzbekistan, some in southwestern Kazakhstan and those areas. Later on Saturday, the icon does have some heavy rain near the Caspian Sea, northern Iran, and like more snow, especially in the mountains in northern Iran. So be aware those areas, and still has snow in Turkey by Saturday, parts of southern Russia and those areas. So also in northern Pakistan, in Tajikistan, it has some. And let's see. So this is Saturday into Sunday has more snow in Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. So expect some heavier snow on the 15th, and then it shows more like Sunday. This goes another cold front in western Turkey, with more rain, more Arctic snow throughout Russia. Show like on Saturday the 14th, from Finland into northwestern Russia, some more snow. Late on the 16th, more into northwestern Russia. The system before moves into northwestern Kazakhstan, and more snow in Russia later. So yeah, be aware. That's the icon. The European might be a little bit different. Shows the cold front in Turkey on Wednesday, more rain and storms, and some snow on the east in Georgia, the Caucasus. Might be heavier there. Shows more like in Iran, northern Iraq, and especially northern Iran until Friday. Shows more like Friday and Saturday in Iran, but gets a bigger front into Turkey and Georgia on Friday, the 13th, and like into Saturday there. So Saturday morning does have widespread snow through western Kazakhstan, parts of southern Russia, like Turkey and Iran, even freezing rain or two in southern Kazakhstan, and has more there Saturday, Sunday. Shows more like in Turkmenistan, starts in Tajikistan Sunday, especially later Sunday to Monday. The European has worse on Monday in Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, later goes to northern China and some snow in Mongolia. And later does have some more systems in Turkey and Russia on the 17th and later. So yeah, be aware in those areas. And the GFS has a similar situation too. So yeah, be careful. And the GFS also like on the 15th, some more snow in Turkmenistan, northeastern Iran, and Uzbekistan. So be aware. Now some accumulations. The rain until the 16th does show in Turkey that higher accumulation. The GFS some 111 millimeters northeastern Turkey and Georgia. This throughout 6 days, but until Sunday already shows those higher totals. So be careful with flooding, but most of this will likely be snow in the mountains. And shows through northern Iran that rain until Monday the 16th shows more rain to Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and those areas. It shows more rain. This is snow. All this in Russia is just snow, but like more precipitation throughout Russia and those areas there in northern, western Kazakhstan especially. Now, the European also has some high accumulations in Georgia and Turkey, all the way to 171 millimeters just until Saturday, and now until the 17th, all the way to 200. Depending if that's snow or rain, it might cause more flooding dangers if it's rain. But be aware because it might be more rain on the coast and more snow in the mountains. It shows like in southern Turkey there as well in the next 5 days, close to like some 137, 123 millimeters, some 86 millimeters. So be aware northern Turkey as well. And just until Saturday, barely shows anything in southern Turkey. If this happens, you may be next week. And shows more like northern Iran until the 18th, some more rain. Be aware, especially along the coast. And that precipitation in Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and those areas. So be aware. In terms of snow, the European does have snow until Saturday in like Turkey, Georgia, and as you see here, basically all of that is snow, 170 centimeters. So that rain accumulation map is basically for snow. Show like some heavy snow southern Turkey and Georgia, not southern Turkey, like northern Turkey, southern Georgia. More from northern Turkey, some snow as well. And more like northern Georgia and the Caucasus. Beware, some more snow in the Caucasus in Russia. shows more there like some snow in northern Andes just until Saturday. Shows already some 21 centimeters northern Andes, or even more. There's some other areas there, and all the central western and the mountains. So be careful. The snow shows more like some southeastern Turkey too, northeastern in Iraq and those areas. So be aware. And until Saturday, does show some in southern Turkmenistan already, in northeastern Iran already shows some, central Afghanistan shows some as well. Northern Pakistan and Tibet show like some 12, 6 to 15 centimeters, and Tajikistan shows some snow as well, and Uzbekistan. So be aware, some 17 centimeters there. Kyrgyzstan, not the whole country, but some mountains there until Saturday. More like to southeastern Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. So be aware, in Russia there'll be those lingering Arctic snow showers. So shows like some 35, 27 centimeters. Some areas like some 17, 8 centimeters. So, some others like Moscow, some 2 centimeters. Shows northwestern Russia, some 17, 15 along the Arctic coast. And let's say into central Russia shows some more snow there. So be aware, especially near Kazakhstan, north, like southwestern Russia. And now until the 18th, the other Wednesday, alright, increases more in southern Turkey, shows more right, some 67 centimeters, more throughout central Turkey, right, it shows, and thus increase in southern Georgia to 192 centimeters next 8 days. And let's see here, shows more throughout central Georgia and the western Caucasus especially, and more in southern Russia. So be aware, increases in Russia too. Some areas close like some 58 centimeters, some 34, 33 centimeters. So be aware. Into like Russia, northwestern Russia, some more snow, and already like southernmost Russia, outside of the Caucasus, does show some more already in some areas. So this is until the 18th, shows more like northern Iran, especially be careful in some mountains there, near the Caspian Sea, some high accumulations, and shows more like into central western Iran, northeastern Iraq, and southeastern Turkey there. Northeastern Iran shows more, Turkmenistan as well, and this goes into like Tajikistan and those areas, some 27 centimeters. Alright, it shows some 32, some 35. Kyrgyzstan there, some 21 centimeters. Most of southeastern Kazakhstan, northwestern Kazakhstan especially. So be careful in those areas. Shows more around like shows some lighter snow in Mongolia, some 5 centimeters, some more central Mongolia, western Mongolia, but the main thing is like in Russia, central Russia, some 37, 25, 17 centimeters, more for central eastern Russia, which we'll talk about. So be aware, like some areas next 8 days shows some 22 centimeters, 24. So yeah, be aware. Now the GFS for the same time frame shows a similar thing, more like in northern Iran, Tajikistan, parts of Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Shows a lot in Turkey as well, most of Turkey except the west, and like Georgia. It has a little bit less, but still has like a lot near Georgia and Turkey, so 155 centimeters or even 59. Shows more northern Iran, some amounts of western Iran, in those areas there. So be careful those areas, and yeah, shows more into Russia, especially those areas there, central to southern Russia, northwestern Kazakhstan, and parts of eastern Kazakhstan, some as well. So be careful. The snow. Now let's see the wind gusts maybe, because this can play a big role in like the blizzard conditions and visibility in some areas, because I was in the mountain these days, and the visibility was very bad with some high winds. So gotta be careful. Let's see here what the European shows first. For the winds, maybe a little bit breezier, sometimes in northern Russia. In Tibet, still very windy there, so we'll talk about Tibet in a second. Let's see for the west here. So like Wednesday show some higher gusts, northwestern Russia, maybe some 75, 67 km per gusts. This goes and like shows more throughout northwestern Russia early on Wednesday to Thursday, breezier through central Russia. Some specific spots there, some high gusts in those some mountains, so be careful. So some specific spots, southern Russia, close to Mongolia, slightly breezier northern Mongolia there, and like this goes Thursday, Friday, stronger gusts in northern Russia, in the Arctic, right close to Norway there, shows the winds increasing in the Black Sea already Friday, be aware in the Caucasus, and then late Friday into Saturday shows some winds in the Caucasus close like 102 km per gust, some 88 km per gust, so be careful in those areas, some 59, some 88 km per gust. In Georgia, too, especially western Georgia, be careful there. And Friday, Saturday shows higher gusts too. They still like the very early Saturday mornings, some 78 km per gust, northeastern Turkey, some 87. Most of Georgia, except the far northwest, shows more like in Russia there, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and some areas. And the Caspian Sea might get very windy, especially in the north, like central Caspian Sea. Be careful on the coast there. On like Saturday morning, this goes, takes out most of the Caspian Sea, windy across western Uzbekistan and Russia as well. In Iraq shows some higher gusts, and maybe like into Turkey, still some specific spots in the mountains, some 83 km per gust, into like southern Turkey and some areas, northern Turkey there in Georgia. So be aware. Shows some higher winds, some out southeastern Iran, those mountains central western Iran there. Be careful Saturday, those higher gusts, and western Afghanistan. And then this goes into Sunday, some higher gusts to that low pressure area in northern Kazakhstan. Some higher gusts there, some 74, 76 km per gust. Some parts of Saudi Arabia too. This is Sunday morning, some higher gusts, some specific areas in the west. And this goes on Sunday. Monday, the shows some higher gusts in like, this is Monday morning, still close to like 109 km per gust in southeastern Iran, especially further south in some mountains there, and all the way to southwestern Pakistan and Afghanistan. So be aware in those specific spots that tend to be more windy. Monday, Tuesday still shows higher winds southern Pakistan and Iran, and again like in the Caspian Sea and Russia shows breezier on the 18th in parts of Russia there and more. And later into Kazakhstan on the 19th shows some breezier conditions, southern Russia, and more Kazakhstan there later. And the rest is too far. So be aware in those areas. The GFS shows a similar thing too. Some breezier conditions are in Russia there today in some areas, especially in the Arctic. And this goes Tuesday, Wednesday, some higher gusts in like northern Mongolia, so some parts of Russia. Wednesday into Thursday shows higher gusts in northern Kazakhstan. So this like Thursday morning, be careful there, northern Kazakhstan and Russia. And different models have some different opinions on how the winds might be, the timing and the strength and everything. So be aware they might not be exactly like this, and that the information will still change, because all this that I'm showing you are just forecasts. They don't stay exactly the same. So let's see, Thursdays the GFS continues in Russia and Kazakhstan and parts of Turkmenistan. This goes on Friday. The higher gusts in the Black Sea and the Caucasus. The GFS shows more in Georgia and the Caspian Sea and Azerbaijan. This goes into Saturday. Some higher gusts in northeastern Turkey, and like in Georgia still, and the Caspian Sea, breezier in western Kazakhstan, and even some specific areas in eastern Kazakhstan there. So be careful Saturday the 14th into Sunday, the higher gusts in southeastern and western Afghanistan, and like southeastern and southeastern Iran shows more there, and Pakistan. So this is Sunday, shows some higher gusts in southwestern Pakistan later on Monday and Sunday night, and again the Caspian Sea on Monday. Parts of Turkmenistan and southwestern Kazakhstan show some higher gusts on Monday. So be aware in those areas, but be aware that this might change as well, and always monitor the situation when it's happening, and stay safe. So now let's see like some things here. There's the precipitation type, shows the rain and snow, mostly snow in Russia, periods of freezing rain. That purple is freezing rain throughout southern Russia, even Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and many areas as we move along this week, even into this week in Kazakhstan. So be aware of those purple areas of freezing rain potential. And does show too like some other stuff like warnings in Russia. This link is in the description for wind. You just click here and see the warnings for Russia, snow, wind, and freezing rain. So be careful there. Now for the wind in Tibet, let's see, because those gusts are still very high in those mountains, northern Nepal, most of southern China and Tibet, and shows more there further east in China too. So this goes Tuesday. It's mainly like a specific time in the afternoon the gusts get higher. So what's happening? So like this is Tuesday afternoon, and I don't know what's happening here. So Monday, so Tuesday does show there's like some 93 km per gus, mainly throughout Tibet. There are many towns there, so be careful with the wind. In all those towns, stay safe from like strong gusts, some fallen trees and stuff, so be careful. And also shows this other range here further south through China, some higher gusts to something like 197, those areas of southern China, but that's mainly the mountains there. So be aware. So this is Tuesday, calms down later in the night. Wednesday afternoon shows again very strong, most of the high elevations there. Northern Nepal, some extreme northern Nepal, but mainly throughout China, shows some areas close to like 113 km per gus, 114. So be careful those high winds. Wednesday into Thursday, the European shows even stronger, so like 123 or 124. Many cities close to 90, 94 km per gus, so 117. So be careful there. Most of Tibet and the other mountain range further east in China. So be careful. This is Thursday. Friday still shows some very high gusts in Tibet, and like especially eastern areas, and shows more in Nepal, especially like throughout the high mountains there. Northern Nepal, some mountains close to some 82 km per gus. Northern Bhutan, a day or two, be aware as well. And then this is Friday afternoons, calms down in the night, and Saturday, the European doesn't have as high on Saturday, just some areas further north. Sunday doesn't have as high as well, but does have some more winds on Monday. Also northernmost Pakistan, southwesternmost China, and those areas of Tibet there. So be careful, those very high gusts shows again on Monday, the 16th, more throughout um, southern China there in the high elevations, and even to Tajikistan. Some spots in Tajikistan, the mountains close to like 100, no, like some 86 km per gus. And also some other days like Saturday, alright, shows the higher gus. Sunday, it will snow. It shows some higher gus within southwestern Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and those areas. So be careful too. And into next week, like this is the 18th, more than a week from now, show like 127 in Tibet. So very damaging wind gusts again next week there. So be careful in those areas. The GFS has a similar thing, like Tuesday, Wednesday, those high gusts in the mountain does have sometimes in the afternoon close to like 123, 130 km per gust. The GFS is even higher there, so be careful. Thursday, Friday has some specific spots like 126 km per gust. Those high elevations. Friday, Saturday a little bit less, Sunday a little bit less, a little bit more further east. But next week it shows a lot again. It doesn't show much on the 18th like the European, but shows more widespread stronger gusts on like the 17th. So BR, some specific spots does have all the way to 129, 130 km per gust. So be careful in those areas, and yeah, stay safe. Now for Eastern Asia, we do have already today some snow showers in central China, some in Japan in the mountains. Tuesday, Wednesday shows more snow systems in Japan throughout Wednesday, and like Thursday the GFS is more snow in Japan like until Friday, and Saturday still has some snow in the mountains of Japan. So most of this week, even to next Monday, the 16th, the 17th, continue showing snow, the mountains there. So be aware in Japan, and in the other areas does show like those Arctic snow showers in Russia, more in eastern Russia Tuesday, and some parts of central to like eastern Russia. Thursday, Friday, some more throughout Siberia and northern Russia, show like Friday there. And it's quieter in parts of China and Mongolia, but does show some snow in the mountain range southeastern China. This goes, and the main action looks like to be around Japan and some areas of Russia. So this is the European now, already shows snow in Russia, in China now, and some parts of northern China too. But Tuesday shows some light snow in Mongolia throughout tomorrow, especially tomorrow night, Tuesday, and more in Russia. Wednesday, some in western Tibet and Afghanistan. This goes into Thursday, some more snow central China, some areas there. And Thursday, Friday shows more lingering snow in Russia. That snow like in eastern Russia Tuesday, and more snow throughout northeastern Russia until like Saturday, and even more later. And in Japan, the European does have some snow in the mountains right now, and northern Japan even outside the mountains. Wednesday, more snow in the mountains. Thursday, mainly the mountains of central Japan. Friday shows a bigger system near the coast. Friday, some more rain in the Izu Islands. And to Saturday, more snow in the islands there. Sunday, especially for the mountains, central Japan. Sunday and into next week shows more snow as well. So be aware in those areas there, the mountains, and let's see. The snow accumulation does show like this is until Thursday. Already shows snow central Russia, some areas of China there, those areas of central China, and here shows in western Tibet and those areas of Afghanistan. And until Thursday, already shows in Japan there's some 26 centimeters, some 25, and even more northwestern Japan there, and even shows some more further east areas. So be careful. It shows like South Korea, the northeast, and shows now until Saturday. Already shows more in Japan, close to like 53 centimeters, 54, and like some 24. So be careful. Further south in Japan, along those mountains as well, and more there throughout south central Japan. And if you are like in the very high elevations, be careful with those snowfall amounts, because they can cause some significant accumulations, like I saw a few days ago on the mountains. So be aware. It shows more like northwestern Japan until Saturday, some more in western South Korea, and it even shows some just south of Tokyo, some areas there, and some other mountains. So this until Saturday, now until the 19th, alright, increases a lot, but this in the next 9 days. So this is so like 103 centimeters in the next 9 days there. More northwestern Japan, a little spot with no snow in some areas there, but shows more from the west, especially in the mountains. So be careful. And yeah, there's the GFS too, shows more through those mountains until Saturday the 14th, some 68 centimeters and 67. So yeah, be careful. It shows more further south, those mountains a little bit south central Japan, some 18, 23 centimeters. Further north to show some spots of 49, 48 centimeters. So be careful there, and especially with some avalanche dangers there in the mountains. So be careful. And let's see, East Western South Korea until Saturday does show some as well, and like northeastern South Korea, and shows more like some parts of China and more like central China and those mountains. So be aware too, but nothing crazy. Russia starting tomorrow Tuesday shows some heavier snow into easternmost Russia, shows more there throughout eastern Russia, and later throughout like Wednesday, Thursday shows more northern Russia, those areas. So be careful. The areas with south central Russia, some specific spots with more snow there, some 27 centimeters, shows more throughout central Russia there, those areas. So be careful there. Mongolia, some lighter snow into tomorrow, but nothing crazy. And the icon has a similar thing to more in Japan in those mountains and parts of eastern Russia and China. It has more scared spots in China and Mongolia. So be careful in those areas. In terms of rain accumulation until Saturday, does show as well some more in Japan, but it's mainly snow there now in Japan. But there might be some more rain on the coast, like in the immediate coast, there might be some more rain, some 90 millimeters until Saturday. Shows more showers scattered some other parts of Japan. Tokyo shows very little, but shows more showers, especially in the seas and other areas, like in Taiwan, some showers and thunderstorms. And the southernmost islands of Japan, a storm or two and some showers. So be aware. In the tropics are like humongously busy. There's more than 300 millimeters in Vietnam. So stay tuned for that, the tropics video. And shows more like into Russia, some rain there. But basically all of that is snow in Russia. Some periods of wet snow or freezing rain. But be careful. Shows more there, like in northern Pakistan and Tibet. That's also snow. And now until the 19th, alright, it shows more Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and more in Japan and those areas. But like 10 days out. So be aware that rain and snow and wind does show now Monday some higher gusts in the islands between Russia and Japan, and in eastern Russia some higher gusts in some spots. Tuesday shows as sometimes windier some spots of Russia, some specific spots that tend to get some higher gusts. So be aware in those spots, and also near northern Kazakhstan. Wednesday show like, let's see a little bit closer to Japan and Russia. Might be some higher gusts in some specific areas of Japan, some central areas, a little bit breezier. This is still Wednesday. Into Thursday shows there some higher gusts, especially in the ocean near Taiwan and Japan. Shows Friday the 13th, some busier seas near China, western and eastern Japan there. And this is Saturday. It doesn't show much in the mountains, but you never know. Be careful there. Those high elevations, the snow and wind, especially like Sunday the 15th, does show some higher gusts into western Japan there, and later on Sunday does show some areas of higher gusts in some spots. So be aware. Shows more in the ocean too there, and yeah. So be careful. Sunday the 15th, this goes there. Still some higher gusts in some areas, and yeah. Now for China, Mongolia, I showed you Tibet, but does show some spots in Russia, some higher gusts. Thursday into Friday shows in some areas of Russia still. So yeah, and some days in north central China, northern China, some specific areas. so be careful. And eastern Russia near the Arctic shows some more higher gusts. Tuesday in some areas there along the far east. Still Wednesday, I'll put this there where there are most gusts, and shows more like a little bit further south along the coast. So be careful. Thursday into Friday shows this big extratropical cyclone right on the coast on Friday. I don't see many towns there, but just north of it there are. So be careful. Some 116 km per gust. Later Friday, basically did this almost Saturday there, because this is European time shown here, so almost Saturday shows some higher gusts most of southeastern Russia, not much south, but shows like further east. Saturday this keeps going and gets higher like in easternmost Russia, some areas there, so be careful. And those areas there. This is Saturday the 14th to Sunday, still strong, the winds there. And the Europeans, another big cyclone Monday spinning there, the coast of Russia, there are some higher gusts, so be careful. But much of this information might change still, especially after Friday and onwards. Still might change and be a little bit different than what I'm showing you. So be aware, the temperatures there in Siberia are very cold, so minus 44, minus 43 degrees Celsius. Northernmost Russia says a minus 35, minus 28. So yeah, be careful. Those areas shows more for eastern Russia, some minus 12 in some areas, minus 31. Southern Russia there. Tuesday into Wednesday, still very cold there in Russia, especially those specific spots in Siberia, some minus 45 degrees Celsius. So be careful. The temperatures in those areas. This goes Wednesday into Thursday, still very cold, of course, because you stay cold there until spring. It shows more some minus 38, some minus 32, all the way into southern Russia and southeastern Russia, like the minus 20s, minus teens, northern China. So be careful, especially in Siberia. Friday, Saturday, not so cold like now, but still very cold in Siberia. So be careful. Saturday the 14th, Sunday, still very cold. Most of Russia, northern Russia, eastern Russia, very cold. And this is just the temperatures. The wind chills, like the feels like temperatures might be even colder. So be careful with the wind and stuff. If you are like in minus 34, might feel like minus 40. So stay safe. And Monday, Tuesday, and the rest is too far away. But please be careful, especially now, those crazy temperatures. The GFS says a similar thing too, like Tuesday, Wednesday, very cold. Thursday, and some spots there close like some minus 45 or something, some minus 44. So be careful. Now further south in China, Mongolia, very cold some spots in Mongolia, especially right between Kazakhstan, China, Russia, Mongolia. Show that like Wednesday, Thursday, be careful northernmost China, those cold temperatures, and southern Russia there. Shows Thursday into Friday, still cold, and especially like northern China. So be careful, southern Russia, northern China, northern into North Korea there. Shows like some minus 13, minus 17, South Korea. So yeah, be careful. Sunday into next Monday, still very cold, even some minus 20. And Beijing, some minus 2, sometimes like minus 3 or something. So yeah, be careful. In Japan, it's not that extreme, but it shows some minus 11, minus 8 in the north, in the mountains, some minus 6, the high elevations. And throughout this week, it gets colder in the mountains, some spots southern Japan as well, so some minus 1, minus 2, some other spots there. Central Japan in the mountains, so be careful. Tuesday into Wednesday shows more there, especially like Thursday night or something. Shows in the mountains, so minus 16, minus 17, so minus 10, some 4 degrees in Tokyo, even less. So be aware. Saturday still cold, northern Japan there, very cold as well. Shows later on Saturday the 14th, some colder temperatures taking down to eastern China, Shanghai as well, so that's like some minus 4 in some areas. Saturday, Friday a little bit less further north, but the dust will coming down to like central China too, colder at night, even into next week. So be aware, and of course, in northern Nepal, the Himalayas, it's some very cold temperature, especially in the mountains. Northern India too, some -17, the mountains. Some 10 degrees in Delhi, a little bit milder in some areas of India, throughout Nepal there. And northern Bhutan, very cold in the mountains too. And like in Myanmar, some areas a little bit milder, and but a little bit warmer in the south. So be careful and stay safe with the snow, the cold, and everything. And feel free to ask questions, the comments, uh, in case there are any changes in the forecast. And check the links in the description to see like the weather forecast sites for those countries with warnings and everything.